Hello, everyone. So before I start with my introduction, as you all know, my name is Erica Robin. I'm 26 years old. I'm a fashion model by profession and also your first ever Miss Universe Pakistan 2023. So before I start with my introduction, I have a question for you all. What is the true definition for you of breaking boundaries? Because for everyone, it's different, very, very different. For example, you could be breaking or have already broken boundaries by being the first in your family to take that subject. I started breaking boundaries in my life. I started working at the age of 16. I completed my schooling from St. Patrick's, and my parents weren't really happy about it because obviously they wanted me to continue studies. And this is not something that I'm promoting to, just leave your studies behind and start working. But one thing that I always wanted to do and wanted to be was financially independent. That was always on my mind. So I started working at the age of 16. And when you're not qualified enough and you're underage, of course, you can't really expect to get a white collar job. So the first job that I where I started my career from was as a sales representative. I always learned one thing that you have to start from somewhere to be someone one day. So I started working there, and slowly and gradually, when I turned 18, I got promoted to one of the agencies of Unilever as a brand trainee over there. And that's how I started working, switched many jobs because I didn't really know what to do. You're at that age where you're on self discovery that who am I? What do I want to be? So I kept switching jobs till the age of 23, 24. That was my last job where I was working as a brand manager at a software house, where this opportunity landed to be a fashion model in Pakistan. Again, in the society that we live is not really, respected. And that's was the biggest concern in my family because my dad was actually against it. That why do you want to be a fashion model? And again, because I was a sales girl, so I did convince him that you have to trust me. It's not about the environment that you work in. It's about how you are as a person. So I stepped into the modeling field. I did great, and it's been almost 4 years. So I was actually really confused whether I should, pursue my modeling career or my 9 to 5, not 9 to 5, but 8 p.m. till 5 a.m. So that was actually a night shift because we used to deal clients in the United States. So I started taking jobs in daytime because I wasn't really sure. But you have to take risk in life. The first modeling job just paid me 5,000 rupees. So it wasn't really stable at that time. But when I talk about it now, it's been 4 years. And for me, being a fashion model is now like a full-time job. I don't work once a week or twice a week. I am usually working 5 or 6 days a week. So for me, it's like my permanent job now. Now, 4 years later, in the fashion industry, booming, doing great, another opportunity landed on my desk. One thing that I would like to add, and I want everyone to, think about this, that there are always opportunities around us. We just tend to ignore them. There are always opportunities waiting to be seized. And that's what I did. And it was not just the opportunity that was given to me. The opportunity was open to everyone. And that was to be the first ever Miss Universe Pakistan. Everyone was tagged in the on Instagram because it was not really officially announced from the head of state, but someone from the Philippines, my national director, Josh Yugan, was the one who got the franchise for Pakistan. And it was all over social media. Everyone got the tags, all the celebrities, all the models. And, like me, everyone thought that maybe this is fake. A lot of fake news and a lot of scams do come on your way. And I ignored them for about a week. And one day when I was at home, I checked the tags and the email again. I said, okay, let me just look into it, what exactly it is. There were just some basic information like your name, your Instagram handle, and some questions. So I just thought, why not? Even if it's fake, I'm not going to tell anyone that I applied. So no one would ever know. So that's what I did. I submitted my portfolio and, answered all the Q&As, and then I was shortlisted. until I was in Maldives to represent Pakistan, I had no idea where this journey was taking me through. It was just for me at that time, it was just, okay, let me just give it a try and see what exactly it is. I did not realize how big this would turn and would completely change my life. So I went to Maldives, competed, and between 200 girls, they were shortlisted and 5 represented in Maldives for the national competition. And guess what? I ended up winning, being the first ever Miss Universe Pakistan. Now, this was one of the biggest achievement in my life, and I should be celebrating it. But just overnight, it turned into a nightmare because I'm not going to take any names. Some official tweet started that who is she and who gave her the permission to represent us. So I was very devastated. I was very sad because I was in the top news in BBC, CNN, but not in a very great manner because the tagline that was used for me was shameful. So imagine your biggest victory and the biggest achievement of your life has, turned into something that you actually feel embarrassed about. That why am I being called shameful? What have I done? Anyway, it was all over the news and people started saying that she's not even one of us because I belong to 1% minorities of Pakistan. I'm a Christian. So things were, just going back and forth, and there were a lot of controversial tweets and messages and calls that you can't really go and represent us without taking our permission. Anyway, I was very sad, very disheartened, but my national director was the one who said, why didn't you give it a try? And that's where I had to break boundaries. And what boundaries? I had 3 things on my mind if I was willing to represent Pakistan. One was societal expectations. Second was cultural limitations that I had. Also, third was my self-confidence. So these 3 things were on my mind when I landed in the Philippines for my training. I did explain the international team that these are the do's and don'ts that I know that the society expecting me to, do. And I would really appreciate if I can represent Pakistan keeping the boundaries. And they said that's perfectly fine. If you're not comfortable wearing a bikini in the swimwear round, that's fine. We can offer you a burkini. And that's what I did. Anyway, so let's talk about the journey in the Philippines. The training was very, very tough. The biggest challenge for me, you wouldn't believe, was public speaking. A year back, I could not even talk to save my life. And I have one of my press conferences in the Philippines where I was so scared. I was so underconfident. I still have that video. That made me embarrassed back in the days, but not anymore because you learn. You make mistakes, you learn. So I'm completely fine with that. So I just trained myself each and every day, talked in front of the mirror so that I could gain confidence because I had to speak in front of millions of people, talking about the country, talking about myself. It's pretty intense because the competition that you see on live television, that's just for entertainment. The real work is actually behind the camera. That's all been recorded. You have different roundtables. You're given different topics that you have to talk about. So yeah, I cried during the training. It was intense. I had no idea how to talk, how to walk, how to present myself. Not myself because I was representing Pakistan for the first time. So there was a lot of pressure on me. So after a month or two, when I thought that yes, now I'm fully prepared, is when I represented Pakistan. And I tried my best because people like internationally and globally were really shocked that really, are you really from Pakistan? Because unfortunately, there are a lot of, negative image rather than promoting a positive image of Pakistan because of lack of global stage and global, representation that we have. Unfortunately, but we're slowly and gradually getting there. So I represented Pakistan, wore bikini, and it was the first time that someone represented and was in the top 20 and the first burkini contestant who was able to make in the top 20. So for that was my victory and, my success. And it wasn't even that. after the competition and everything was over, I was back to the country and everyone celebrated it because the way I represented it. So it's very, very important to take challenges and break barriers. And for me, my biggest achievement wasn't just to be the first ever Miss Universe Pakistan. It was actually not to be the last one. So this year as well, we had our Miss Universe Pakistan 2024, and starting from 2023, every year on a global platform at Miss Universe, Pakistan will be represented respectfully among all the other countries. So before I end the session, I would just like to add that, there are many people that help you in your way. I had so many issues. I had my visa problem. And, it's very like, if I tell you the story how I got my Colombian visa, because I had zero support from Pakistan regarding my, financial problems, regarding my visa problem. And I still remember I'm going to share this incident because, that really changed my perspective on life. That, anyone can be your helping hand. I was in trouble to get the transit visa for El Salvador. And I was in the Philippines struggling hard. And it's really hard to get visa when you're sitting in some other country. We called the Colombian embassy. And trust me, it might sound unreal right now, but I just told her my story that this is what's been happening. You can, search it on Google. I really want to represent Pakistan, but I'm stuck. And that lady over the phone for in about like 20 minutes gave me the transit visa, which was really like it was impossible. And I got the transit visa, and that's how I landed in El Salvador to represent. So, there are always people that can help you out where you're stuck. And one thing that I've learned is always remember and be careful what you do, what you say, and who you sue, because you might just need someone to save you one day. And before I end, I would just like to say that we're all capable of breaking boundaries. Just test yourself and just practice. And one thing that I learned, like one of my trainers, when I was in the training session, and he said that, there's one terminology and one sentence that you've heard for, your entire life. And that is, I'm sure you all must have heard it, that practice makes perfect. No. So that's what I thought, and that's what exactly I answered, perfect. But there is no such thing in this world as perfect. So I'm going to change it because that's something that I remember, and it might just, be stuck in your head as well, that there's nothing in this world that's perfect. Practice makes permanent. If I practice something every day, it would be in my routine. I would always remember it. So again, there's no such thing as perfect. Practice just makes permanent, and that's what I did. Practice, polish myself, and represented Pakistan in the best possible way I could. And again, thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys have a lovely day.